conditions. So we ring in the new year on a cold note, even a chance after midnight on New Year's Eve to see a few snowflakes. So get ready for that. But a brighter weekend ahead with more sunshine. Temperatures are just going to be staying below freezing for us. So a very cold stretch coming up, guys.
Wow, how about that? All right, Alyssa, thank you. And thank you for joining us on WBZ. If you missed anything, don't worry. Our newscast continues at 7 on our streaming service, CBS News Boston. You can also watch on your laptop at WBZ.com.
Here on WBZ, CBS Morning starts right now.
Now, streaming on CBS News Boston. This is WBZ News Mornings.
All right now on CBS News Boston, we have wind advisories out for strong gusty winds taking place. Next weather alert for 50+ mile-per-hour winds.
Don't agree with it, but I mean, it is what it is. We have to do what we got to do, right?
New fare gates going up today at one of Boston's biggest train stations, and not everyone is thrilled about it. Why some commuters are concerned.
Plus, saying goodbye to a first-round bye? Why the Pats' chances of earning the top seed in the AFC playoffs may have dimmed. Hey, good morning. Thanks for joining us. It's Tuesday, December 30th. I'm Chris Tanaka.
And I'm Brianna Pitts in for Paula Eben. Alyssa Andrews is here with a look at our next weather forecast. And boy, oh boy, Alyssa, the story of the day is the wind.
That's right. And overnight, maybe some of you even woke up to some of the whistling winds outside. Winds gusting over 50 miles per hour already in the city. And for many of us, it's going to be an all-day wind event. So 40 to 60 miles per hour, those are going to be kind of on the high end of these wind gusts we're seeing. But sustained winds around 30. So just expecting a breezy and cool day overall. Right now, we're winding that back just a little bit in Boston, 43. That's the wind gust right now. Cape and Islands, same deal. We are going to see this all across the state, interior portions of Massachusetts, all up and down the coastline. It's going to be everyone all day long. So there's all the wind alerts and advisories out. Basically, just going to note that it's going to feel colder. And again, the super windy conditions picking up all day long. It does increase in the afternoon. But outside of that, just preparing for the cold air that will follow these very strong winds. Right now, it feels like we're at 9 degrees in Boston, 3 in Worcester. At times, we've seen some zeros popping up here throughout the morning hours. So just a chilly start to the day. Even colder weather, though, is in store for us. We'll talk about all of it in our full forecast in a little bit, Chris.
All right. Sounds good, Alyssa. Hey, this morning, riders are facing a new step before boarding the commuter rail or Amtrak from South Station.
Yeah, the T is activating these new fare gates to crack down on fare evasion. Samantha Cheney is live at South Station for us this morning. And so far, she said passengers actually haven't been too happy about this change. Is that right, Sam?
Brianna, that is exactly right. Okay, I know people are already cranky in the morning, but today, now that these new fare gates are open and operating, we've seen some really confused and angry passengers when they couldn't just walk straight through like they used to, but instead they now have to tap or scan tickets and passes to both exit and enter the track area. Now, this is the same system that's been in Boston's North Station for about 3 years now, and it's one that the MBTA believes will help them combat fare evasion. According to MassDOT officials, the money that's collected here will get reinvested back into the transit system. And while some welcome this new addition, others are calling it just plain inconvenient.
If they keep using like the machines and stuff and they like miss like their bus or train or wherever they need to, it's not gonna be able to like get to them. And I think that the machine is ridiculous and the whole thing.
I was saying that I don't mind. As I was saying, like I use it Mondays and Fridays, so I've been seeing the whole process like the whole time. So I've been expecting it, so it's not a huge surprise for me.
Now, one of the big changes here is that the MBTA says Amtrak passengers will also need to scan to get in and out. And some people are worried that this could cause backup for people who are coming here with luggage, which we've actually seen this morning. So I think people just have to get used to it. But as of right now, they were pretty upset this morning. This is all just being rolled out, and we're told ultimately there will be 40 of these gates operating here at the South Station. Live in Boston, I'm Samantha Cheney, WBZ News.
All right. right, Sam, thank you. Well, police are investigating an apparent homicide at a home in Methuen. Officers say they found someone unresponsive when they were called to the Lyndale Street residence last night. The district attorney confirms it is being investigated as a homicide. Police were seen taking photos inside of the home and examining a car in the driveway. It's not yet clear how the person died or if anyone has been arrested. And this morning, the Pentagon is confirming its latest deadly suspected drug boat strike.
And this follows President Trump's comments on a U.S. ground strike in Venezuela and his sit-down with Israel's Prime Minister. Kamal Afzali is in London with the details.
Good morning, Chris and Brianna. This was the 6th meeting between President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu this year, and the 5th on U.S. soil. The two leaders heaped praise on each other, and the president said he hoped to reach the next phase of the Gaza peace plan very quickly. He also had fresh warnings for their mutual foes.
It can be very difficult on occasion, but you need a strong man.
There was barely a sign of any private disagreements as President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stood publicly united at Mar-a-Lago in their first meeting since the fall. The president lobbed threats at Iran over Israel's fears that Tehran could be rebuilding its ballistic missile stockpile.
Consequences will be very powerful.
The president threatened Hamas once again that if the group doesn't disarm,
They'll be held to pay.
Phase 1 also calls for Hamas to hand over the remaining Israeli hostages, alive or dead. But the body of Ran Gavili is still in Gaza. The leaders met with his family Monday.
Israel's lived up to the plan 100%.
The ceasefire has mostly held, but both sides accuse the other of violations. Humanitarian groups still warn of limits on the flow of aid into Gaza. Also Monday, President Trump was asked about a strike on an alleged drug site inside Venezuela.
It's a major explosion in the dock area. They load the boats up with drugs, so we hit all the boats.
The president didn't say where or when or crucially who carried out the strike. Monday, the U.S. military struck another suspected drug boat in the Pacific, killing 2 people. In a radio interview on Friday, the president said the U.S. knocked out what he described as a big plant or big facility where ships come from as part of a pressure campaign against Venezuela. Yesterday, he wouldn't tell reporters whether the U.S. military or the CIA was behind the operation, but the president has previously acknowledged approving covert CIA action inside Venezuela. Kamal Afzali, WBZ News.
A Leominster man accused of killing his wife, then pointing a gun at police, remains behind bars this morning. A judge denied bail for James Marsh yesterday. Prosecutors say he killed his wife, Ann, then started an hours-long standoff with police on the day after Christmas. Now, Ann's former boss spoke to WBZ on the phone and said they seemed like a happy couple.
There was never anything that I can recall that she ever said that was bad about him, which makes this so shocking.
And then there's this. A neighbor told WBZ there was never any signs of trouble at the couple's home.
Well, a Medford firefighter is due in court today, accused of sending inappropriate images to a minor. The district attorney says Hugh McClenny was communicating with a girl that he believed was under the age of 15. He was arrested as part of an ongoing federal investigation. The mayor of Medford told WBZ that she's been briefed on his arrest and that the city will cooperate with the investigation.
Well, 2 people, including a firefighter, are recovering after a house fire in New Bedford. This broke out last night on Topham Street. You can see the flames pouring out when crews got there. Officials say the fire reignited several times because solar panels on both sides of the roof blocked the crews from reaching the flames. No word yet on a cause.
A critical deadline is approaching for plans to build a new soccer stadium in Everett. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu was given through tomorrow to sign on to a community impact agreement with the Kraft family. If an agreement is not reached, both sides will have to enter binding arbitration. The stadium became a talking point during the Boston mayoral debate when Wu faced off against Josh Kraft. If it is built, it would serve as a new home for the Revolution. And all eyes will be on Gillette Stadium next year when it hosts 7 World Cup matches, and FIFA says the demand for the tickets has broken all of its records. More than 150 million requests from 200 countries have been submitted for all World Cup matches so far. They will be held in 16 cities across Canada, Mexico, and the U.S., and you can enter the ticket lottery through January 13th. WBZ is your home for the AFC East champion New England Patriots. And in order to wrap up the #1 seed, the Pats need to beat the Dolphins on Sunday, and they need the Chargers to beat the Broncos.
Problem is, a Chargers win this morning is suddenly looking a lot less likely. The team said yesterday it plans to rest some of its starters, including star quarterback Justin Herbert. LA's already locked into a wild card spot, so there's really no benefit nor need to play every starter.
The guys that need have the most bruises and need the most healing, we would pull them back. Justin Herbert would be one. He's got bruises that need to heal.
You can watch Bert and Ernie talk football with Fourier tonight at 9 on TV 38. Lots to talk about. We'll stream it as well on CBS News Boston and our YouTube channel.
Well, just ahead this morning on CBS News Boston, getting ready for first night, the efforts from Boston leaders to keep revelers safe this New Year's.
WBZ's next weather alert is brought to you by Safety Insurance.
Ooh, the wind blowing does matter to us today, though, because it is strong. Alyssa Andrews is here as we take a look over Gillette. And Alyssa, this isn't, just in one area. It's widespread.
It's everybody. It's everybody, and it's all day long, Brianna. So the next weather alert that we have in place is good to go for just about everybody watching right now. Wind speeds throughout the day into the night. 40 to 60 miles per hour on the high end. So that's why we've got the alerts in place. Scattered tree damage possible, and feels like temperatures in the single digits. We've already seen Worcester go to 0 degrees this morning on the feels like. It's not fun. It's not fun. 43 miles an hour on the current wind speeds in Boston right now and across the state. It's the Cape, it's the islands, it's the coastline, it's interior, it's everyone. So everyone's lit up in those wind advisories and alerts, and that goes all the way through the overnight hours. We'll see those expiring and start to drop off about 1 a.m. coming up late tonight. As far as the next couple of hours go, well, we're already experiencing those strong winds this morning, around 50 miles an hour in the city. And then outside of that, throughout the morning into the afternoon, 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts are all going to be fair play for the rest of today. I can play that through all day long and it'll look about the same. what is it doing to our actual feels like temperature? It's knocking it down quite a bit. So our temps are in the mid-20s right now, but it feels like just 9 degrees in Boston, 3 in Worcester. I mean, it is so chilly outside, especially coming off of yesterday's milder conditions in the upper 40s, close to 50 degrees. Cut it in half, and that's where we're at today. And now here's the kicker. We don't really warm up from here on out at all in the 7-day forecast. We just kind of stay freezing, and that's that as we start with 2026. Feels like 9 degrees in the city, and winds are sustained at 20 plus miles per hour. So a breezy Tuesday coming up for us with temperatures staying right there in the middle 20s, but feeling much, much cooler. All right, let's talk about New Year's Eve. That first night in Boston, temperatures are going to be, of course, below freezing. We know that. It's going to be cold. It'll be a little of a breeze, but what happens after midnight? We might actually see some snowflakes showing up. I know. So we've got some snow in the forecast. Let's take a look at it. I've started this here Wednesday at 7 a.m. Cloudy skies for everybody, but mostly drying out from yesterday's heavy rain showers, drying today just with windy conditions. Cloudy skies coming up for Wednesday. This is New Year's Eve, and we go with the cloudy skies into midnight, and that's also when we see a few snowflakes starting to form. So we could actually be waking up to 2026 with a few flakes flying around outside there. Now, as we get closer to the weekend, we'll start to see brighter skies, more sunshine ahead for us, and it'll look more like this on radar. Not too bad as you step outside. It's just going to be the windy conditions will make it feel so much colder. Now, our weather watchers have sent in so many tips. Thank you so much for joining our news system. Temperatures below freezing in the lower 20s, and Plymouth at 25 degrees too. So that's going to be about where our high temperatures are here to stay for the rest of the day. Thank you so much for sending in those weather tips. We really appreciate it. We see all of your tweets. We see all of your postings. So thank you for that. As we get to the weekend, we have more sunshine coming our way with temperatures staying well below freezing as we ring in the new year. Now, we also want to bring your attention, speaking of our weather watchers, the WBZ Next Weather team is launching our new platform for our weather watchers. So all of our new and current weather watchers, please go to our website to register if you have not done so already. Just go to WBZ.com/WWN and follow the directions right there. We're so excited to have you join our team if you haven't already, and we've seen a lot of new faces, and of course our OG weather watchers. We always appreciate you sending in your tips. Brianna.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Well, Boston is preparing to ring in the new year at City Hall Plaza. There's a lot of planning that goes into the event. WBZ's Penny Commit breaks down the city's efforts to make sure the new year gets off to a safe start.
In less than 48 hours, City Hall Plaza will transform into a massive family-friendly festival full of food trucks, ice sculptures, live performances, a parade, and 2 fireworks shows, one at 7 p.m. and one at midnight.
Hundreds of thousands of people will come to this free event.
Artists plan to start chipping at the ice, but sculpting was delayed due to the warm, rainy weather. A totally different story from what we expect Wednesday, with projected temperatures in the teens.
A few warming stations, but nothing as good as just bundle up.
This marks 50 years of First Night Boston. What started as a small gathering of artists has now transformed into one of the largest New Year celebrations across the country.
Boston Police Department will have officers in and around, both in plainclothes and uniform capacity.
Boston Police Commissioner Michael Cox asks that visitors do not bring alcohol, marijuana, or fly drones during the event.
We will have many blocking vehicles and street closures.
Please, if at all possible, take public transportation instead of driving.
The MBTA says that all ferries, buses, and trains will be free starting at 8 Wednesday evening and will run as late as 2:45 a.m. on some lines.
Currently, there are no known threats, credible or otherwise, that would suggest that the MBTA is a target.
12 hours of entertainment spread across the Boston Common, Copley Plaza, and Government Center.
Don't let somebody wander off, or if they've had a little bit too much, take care of them.
So we can all ring in the new year full of fun and with peace of mind for another 50 years.
Some of the children who first saw it back then have now taken multiple generations of their family to experience this, and we want to keep that going.
But regardless of where you're celebrating, Boston EMS says that they will have extra staff positioned all throughout the city and in emergency rooms. From City Hall Plaza, I'm Penny Commit, WBZ News.
Boston is celebrating Inauguration Week next week with a series of community events. Mayor Wu will be inaugurated at Symphony Hall on Monday. Throughout the week, there will be also a faith gathering, a celebration of local businesses, a floral design event honoring seniors, and a teen takeover. Families can take advantage of free access to 14 museums and cultural spaces all week long. There will also be a story time at public library branches. Well, a new putt-putt spot in Boston lets you take a sightseeing tour of the U.S. without ever having to leave Faneuil Hall. Levin is out live at Putt Across America to take us along on his mini golf road trip and to learn more about the story behind it. Hey, Levin.
Hey, Brianna, and I would say this has been fantastic just to be here all morning long and pick in and figure out the different items that are here. We've seen Mount Rushmore. We're now at the Public Market Center in Seattle. How great was it for you to kind of design this and to see people come through and learn more about different places that they've never been?
You know, it was really special. It was a combination of learning about new places, but also sort of revisiting places I've been as a kid.
Yeah.
And it does feel, we call it a sort of cross-country road trip.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it is really neat to see the country all in one space.
I'll let you do this one hole right here while I talk to you real quick questions. Did you make these harder or did you make these easier?
Harder.
Yes, you did. You did make it a lot harder. But at the same time, you wanted to have fun, didn't you?
Yeah. We like to bring people together to play and, bond over activities. And so we just really wanted to create something that would make people laugh at the end of the day.
I love the Hollywood one, as I'm going to try it here. You have Tiancé, you have Opar. How much fun did you have making sure that you had fun with the stars?
Oh, so much fun. We've got mini golf puns throughout, and it's really, you'll find something in every hole that will surprise you.
When you get a chance to do this, is it more the parents that love it or the kids that love it?
I think the parents.
Okay.
We get a lot of people here for date night, a lot of friends coming out too. So, I think, it's great for kids, but also I think there's a lot of stuff for adults to cling to from here.
And I've got to say, do you have a comment box out for people to say, hey, by the way, I love San Francisco, but this wine area doesn't look right?
Oh, yeah. You know what? We've honestly learned a lot about people saying, hey, this fact in the trivia, it's slightly inaccurate. Yes. I'm from there. And so, always like to learn and improve how this goes.
Okay, I'll let you do Lombard Street. And I love this one because you got the Golden Gate Bridge here, and this is where I got engaged, and then you got to put it down the wide street. Here we go.
Let's go.
That was closer than we've gotten all day. By the way, he mentions, Brianna, that the holes, they're not easy. They're not easy. They're not.
Bring your best golf game.
Bring your best golf game. Like all the holes are like they're for professional mini golfers, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And the winner gets Star Putter fan at the end.
Yes. So if you want to know who won this round.
Yep. There we go.
I don't have to tell you.
Someone probably just gave that to you, but that's okay. No, I'm kidding. That's okay. You earned
it. It's called souvenir.
Yep. Thanks, Lev. Just ahead this morning on CBS News Boston, you will soon be seeing fewer Starbucks in major cities. We'll tell you why the chain is scaling back. Well, there are more than 17,000 Starbucks stores in the U.S., but that number will go down in 2026. After decades of growth, the coffee chain will shrink its footprint in major U.S. cities. It's planning to close about 400 locations, mostly in large metro areas. Back in September, it closed dozens of stores, including at least 20 in Massachusetts. Starbucks says it'll focus on its stronger performing locations and update stores with new designs. Well, Bourne police are warning about a social media challenge that has led to multiple homes being damaged. They say they've gotten at least 5 calls in the past 2 months about people forcefully kicking in front doors and running away. They say the suspects appear to be recording themselves as part of an online trend. Police warn that doing this will result in criminal charges. 3 Massachusetts residents are in custody for allegedly robbing a man at a Rhode Island casino. Lincoln police say a woman from Boston, a woman from Marlborough, lured a man to a room at the Bally's Hotel Casino early yesterday morning. And once inside, police say a Worcester man with a knife robbed the victim of $1,500. He was not hurt. The suspects were arrested a short time later. Well, coming up next, a thief gets away with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of lobster. The simple scheme they allegedly used to pull it off.
You're watching WBZ News.
One bold scam may have led to nearly $400,000 in lobster getting stolen from a Taunton shipping facility. This is the second heist involving seafood in the past month, according to the CEO of a logistics industry trade group. He says the thief pretended to work for a real trucking company but got access to the lobsters using a fake email address.
There was a dash in the email address. That was the only thing that was in addition. Everything else looked exactly the same to the legitimate company. And then this individual came in, took the load, and off they went with it, and who knows where it ends up.
That CEO says the seafood thefts are likely linked to an organized cargo crime ring. Still to come in our next half hour, 2 local women complete the ultimate road trip, what they say they learned after visiting all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts.
CBS News Boston is now streaming live on our YouTube channel every morning from 7 to 10 a.m. So if you're watching us streaming on YouTube, please like and subscribe to our channel, CBS News Boston. Now, streaming on CBS News Boston, WBZ News Mornings continues with your top stories.
All right, next weather alert in place for the gusty winds today, making those feels like temperatures down to the single digits.
Plus, more people fleeing the state, the top reason they are making the move, and the new salary transparency rules to know if you are on the job hunt. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brianna Pitts. We are in a next weather alert on your Tuesday here. We do want to get a check at that next weather forecast with Alyssa Andrews as we take a look over Gillette. And Alyssa, if there was a flag in this shot, it would be whipping around.
It would be whipping in that wind, Brianna. You know, a lot of people were saying this morning they were actually waking up overnight from the strong gusty winds. I think I had a little turkey that was trying to avoid the winds because it was on the second floor on my fire escape. A little wild turkey out there. Today we are in a next weather alert. It's going to be an all-day Tuesday event for the gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour interior portions of the state, and that brings our wind chills down to the single digits. Right now, the current wind gusts 43 in Boston, 46 in Nantucket, just in the bright red over there to the southeast, and interior portions of the state going to be seeing this a little bit heavier into the afternoon. We'll see those winds starting to pick up again. I mean, it's already very strong winds outside right now. Let's check in with the Weather Watchers because we did launch that new Weather Watchers network, and we keep getting these updated temperature readings. So low 20s for many reported this morning, and we're continuing to work on that new Weather Watcher system. So thanks for sticking with us for that, and also for continuing to send in your tips, because on the back end we actually see all of the info you give us. Now, right now our current wind chills at 9 degrees in Boston, 3 in Worcester this morning. Single digits we go, and single digits we shall stay. Into the afternoon we maybe bump that up into the teens, but not much. So we're at 25 degrees in Boston right now, and we take the wind gusts outside of this. We're still looking at sustained winds of 20 plus miles per hour. So that's why we get the wind alerts all across the state. This is going to be for the rest of our Tuesday. They don't drop off until about 1 a.m. into tomorrow night. And our full forecast, we're going to talk about just how long the cold air will stick with us, plus a check on the New Year's Eve and first day of 26 forecast, Brianna.
Okay, sounds good. Alyssa, thank you. A member of Framingham's planning board has stepped down after being arrested in a state police sting. Troopers say Joseph Norton and 2 other men thought they were buying sex from a child earlier this month. They were actually communicating with undercover officers. Norton pleaded not guilty and submitted his resignation on Christmas Eve. Well, a Mattapan man is accused of assaulting his 77-year-old neighbor over a wrongly delivered Amazon package. Both the suspect and victim live in an apartment building on Cummins Highway. Police say when the victim confronted Khalid Muhammad about a missing package last week, he started attacking him. Neighbors described the disturbing scene.
His whole face was swollen. His eyes were like shut, basically. So I heard from his daughter that he had a concussion and he had bleeding behind his eyes.
Muhammad is in custody. He has a lengthy criminal record of assault charges in Massachusetts and New York. Well, Greater Boston starts with venturing outside of Greater Boston, and a couple decided after the COVID lockdown to visit every city and town in Massachusetts. This year, they finally reached their goal. WBZ's Julie McDonald tells us what they discovered along the way.
I don't think we're done. No, we just look at this and we see memories. I see Nantucket and I was like, we went e-biking for the first time. I see Randolph. I rode a horse for the first time.
Officially, they are done, crisscrossing the Commonwealth to visit each of the 351 cities and towns making up Massachusetts.
Greenfield, Deerfield, Sunderland, Leiden, these towns I hadn't really even heard of.
This grand goal came to the Newton couple during the pandemic, out for some fresh air, heartbroken after their business closed.
Same walks, same people, didn't want to get close to people, and we just got grumpy about it. Yeah, so we decided one day just to take a walk in a different town.
And as the world opened back up, the adventure unfolded.
Instead of like what we can't do, let's see what we can do.
There were a few rules. They had to be together, and this wasn't a drive-through. They researched, explored, and contributed to the local economy.
Every time we came home, we were like, we got town visit food. I got coffee from an independent coffee roaster. I haven't bought coffee from a corporate place in so long.
2025 was jam-packed, but they delighted in the challenge.
We still had Martha's Vineyard. We still had Nantucket. We still had some Berkshire towns. By that point, we were just like, we got this. We knew we were in the home stretch. Honestly, we kind of miss it already a little bit.
And even after living here for decades, they say discovering home helped them heal.
It's taught us that we can find goodness, we can find joyful moments everywhere. You just can't prejudge a town until you go there and see it and talk to people and see what it has to offer.
Julie McDonald, WBZ News.
Well, 2 airlines are adding new nonstop flights out of Logan Airport to the same Midwest city. Our partners at the Boston Business Journal report that Delta Airlines and American Airlines will both offer year-round trips to Madison, Wisconsin, starting in June. Right now, there are no direct flights between here and there. Delta says it's hoping to lure business and leisure travelers with the Madison flights. Well, a survey from United Van Lines shows Massachusetts was one of the top states to move away from in 2025. We ranked number 7 on the list. It's down 2 spots from last year. United says more than half of the moves it handled in Massachusetts this year were for people leaving the state. The number 1 reason was to be closer to family. Well, now to the best of WBZ, where we revisit some of the most memorable stories of 2025. How much you make compared to your coworkers is now less of a secret in Massachusetts. A new salary transparency law took effect in October. In our Question Everything series, WBZ's David Wade looked at whether it will work.
In office buildings across Boston, the bosses know everyone's salaries, and the only thing transparent are the windows looking down. But now, salary transparency will be the law. And Sharmel Modi, a business owner, says it is time.
It sparks discussion and it gives people a roadmap.
He says telling employees how their salary stacks up sets expectations and promotes fairness.
And it gets harder to justify, well, I just thought he did better, or because he's a he.
Compared to men, Massachusetts women are making about 80 cents on the dollar. The gap even worse for Native American, Black, and Latino women. So now businesses with at least 25 employees must include a pay range in all job postings.
You're going to see some salaries jump, for people that are underpaid.
Bethany Molthrup is a job recruiter at Talloner in Boston. Through clients in New York, which passed a similar law, she has seen how posting a pay range affects negotiations.
Ultimately, the goal is to close the wage gap, and the candidates out there, they're actually going to be paid and have been paid for their actual skill set and not just based off of, their previous compensation levels.
And there's a twist. This new law isn't just for new jobs. If you already work at a company, you now have the right to ask for the salary range for your position upon promotion, transfer, or simply on request. Tess Butler, a nurse and part of a generation that isn't shy about sharing salaries, was surprised that this was new.
Now the company has to tell you what people in your job title are paying with a range.
Yeah, I think it's crazy to me that that is something that is just now starting, to be honest with you.
With transparency, something else is clear, and that is there's going to be a little awkwardness in the office. Say you're
Miley,
and you make
100K.
And then you find out that the range for your current position is 90 to 120.
Oh, wow.
What do? For an answer to that tricky question, I turned to David Turetsky from Salary.com. What if you are at the bottom of the salary range looking up?
I would ask my boss, what do I need to do in order to make more? What do I need to improve, whether it's performance? Do I need new skills? That's a more mature conversation to have, because then there are actions you can take from that.
If you decide to move on, keep in mind a salary range can be as wide as a mountain range. I looked at job postings in New York. Recruiter, 50 to 150,000. Teacher, 35 to 140K. Automotive tech, 50 to 175. Tech company, 91,000 to 321,000. This Massachusetts law says an employer has to share what it reasonably and in good faith expects to pay. And funny business may be bad business.
When we saw this roll out in New York City, there was a big financial institution that put out a range of like $1 to $1 million. Less companies are doing that because it reflected negatively on that brand.
And that job recruiter also says there'll be less time wasted. For instance, you go on a job interview, you're feeling good about it, and then they tell you the salary and it's way too low. Well, now you see the job posting and you know exactly what that salary range is. I'm David Wade, WBZ News.
When we come back, we'll show you how a game in Atlanta last night may have further helped Drake May's MVP case.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
All right, the wind is going to be blowing you around out there if you are commuting anywhere, but especially into the city, Alyssa, this morning here. The wind felt like it was picking up my car this morning. And
do a little
shaking it
steering
around.
for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So today is going to be one of those days. It's an all-day thing for everybody for our next weather alert. So it's going to be in place throughout the remainder of our Tuesday with strong winds and advisories all across the state, all across southern New England. Winds could be gusting 40 to 60 miles per hour. And so scattered tree damage is certainly possible. And then single-digit wind chills. Right now, we're at 43 in Boston. We've seen winds gusting well over 50, though, in the city and across the state. Same deal. Everyone's dealing with the same strong winds. And what it's doing to our wind chills right now feels like 9 degrees in Boston, 3 in Worcester, 5 in Fitchburg. We'll pop up into the teens later this afternoon, but not much. It's going to be just a chilly day overall. And this is everybody is going to be covered by these wind advisories. They won't drop off until the late hours of tonight, early morning hours of Wednesday coming up. So it's an all-day thing for us, and that's why we've got that next weather alert in place. Looking into the afternoon, winds will pick up for interior portions of the state later on today after lunchtime, I'd say, when the strongest winds occur here. Meanwhile, Cape and Island still going strong with winds 50+ mile per hour. Same thing for the coastline, 30 to 40 there. Now, as we get ready for the rest of this Tuesday, temperatures right now starting off in the middle 20s, but we don't warm up really a whole lot from here. We just kind of stay static. Beautiful shot, by the way, waking up here this morning to winds 22 miles per hour. Even though they're gusting stronger, it's going to be just a constant, steady breeze all day long. Here's what the snapshot of our day looks like. Plenty of sunshine at the front half of the day. We are going to see more cloudy skies as we get ready for first night in Boston. Temperatures quite chilly, below freezing all through the hours leading up to midnight. Now, once we get closer to midnight, it's going to be cold. We'll have the cold air in place already. Pretty quiet. And then we could see some snow showers late Wednesday. Let's say Tuesday, late Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. So getting ready to ring in the new year with a chance of light snow. That's going to be in the late hours of our Wednesday to early Thursday. We'll take a look here Wednesday afternoon. Once we get closer to midnight, we will start to see those light snowflakes starting to form, and that could last us all the way into our Thursday morning. So just something to keep in mind as you are outside and making plans for that. We are dry for right now, and actually we're seeing a good amount of clearing taking place this morning with some sunshine that'll help us out. But our weather watchers also sending in tips and reports. Thank you so much. Don't forget to send in not only your air temperatures, but also wind speeds, because if we see all of that on the back end on our side. So we really appreciate you sending in those data points for us. High temperatures should be in the upper 30s, but this is where we're going to be in the next few days. So it's not that far off, but I mean, we're getting ripped off about 10 degrees here. And then after we get through our New Year's Eve plans, we have plenty to look forward to on the winter countdown, including Super Bowl Sunday, 40 days away now. So a lot of good stuff coming up, and we've got some cold weather to match for the end of December, early January stretch. We do go to drier skies with some sunshine for the weekend. It just remains downright chilly. Brianna, below freezing for the next several days out.
Oh, all right, Alyssa, thank you. Well, dogs aren't just man's best friend. For thousands of Americans who rely on service animals, they are a lifeline. Gwen Baumgartner reports from Oceanside, California, where one organization is urgently working to fetch more volunteers as the wait list for service dogs continues to grow nationwide.
Magic, heel. Meet Magic, a precocious pup on the path to become a service dog.
The dogs can do things like open doors, pick up items. Our PTSD service dogs also interrupt nightmares. They can turn on lights in a room.
Paige Mazzoni leads Canine Companions, a nonprofit that trains and provides service dogs free of charge, with a wait list of up to 2 years. According to the CDC, 1 in 4 Americans live with a disability, but less than 1% have a service dog.
Good girl.
At Canine Companions, Mazzoni says there's not a lack of teachable pups, there's a lack of puppy raisers.
We get them at 8 weeks. They are tiny. This one was a little fluff ball.
Puppy raisers are people like Mary Siegel, who foster future service dogs for a little over a year.
Good. One of the most important roles of a puppy raiser is exposing their dog to new environments. Parks, restaurants, places with crowds, something that their dog might have to navigate as a service dog.
Volunteers take them home as puppies, but give the dogs back when they're old enough for formal training.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's one of the hardest things that you'll do. It was really the beginning of something much bigger.
Natalie News leads this California training center and says the volunteer shortage is a growing national crisis.
We can't function without them. We need puppy raisers to be able to fulfill our mission, and so they are the heroes for us, for sure.
Magic. The puppy raisers often say, be careful. If you raise a puppy, the life you change
might be your own.
Very good.
There's something pretty magical about that. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Oceanside, California.
Now, a major upset on Monday Night Football. LA is headed to the playoffs as a wild card team, and the season is over for Atlanta despite beating the Rams at home. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is trying to keep up with Drake May for the MVP, but he put up one of his worst outings of the season. 3 interceptions, including a pick six. Atlanta wins 27-24. In hockey, the Bruins have now lost 6 in a row. Andrew Peeke gave them a 1-goal lead in the first period against the Flames in Calgary last night, but that is it. Bees would lose it 2-1 in overtime. They play the Oilers in Edmonton tomorrow. And the Pats clinched the AFC East on Sunday night thanks to the Bills' 13-12 loss to the Eagles. Buffalo had a chance to win at the end, but Josh Allen could not connect on the 2-point conversion. Pats were watching on the bus ride back to Foxborough. Yesterday, Drake May told WEEI about that experience.
Yeah, I was watching some of the guys on the bus. Obviously it wasn't the number one way you want to draw it up to win the division, but you never complain with the goal we had in mind, and it was awesome to celebrate with our teammates after we got home from the trip, and that was a crazy ending. But like I said, I wish we would have done it earlier, but I'm glad it ended up happening, and still got some work left.
May put up another MVP-type performance on Sunday, 19-21 passing for 256 yards with a career-high 5 touchdown passes. And even though Drake is now a superstar, Caleb Chiasson says the Pats quarterback always stays humble.
Drake battled his butt off all year long and continuously asks for no recognition and no praise for it. Even when we joke with him inside the locker room, he's always going to throw the recognition to someone else, whether it's the receivers, the O-line, or the running backs, however it may be, giving it to Josh or Vrabel. So he never wants to acknowledge it, but, man, he's been playing great all this year.
I'll be sure to catch Patriots All Access Friday night at 7 here on WBZ. We're going to take you behind the scenes, hear from Mike Vrabel and much more. And start your Sunday with Patriots Game Day at 11:30 on WBZ. Pats and Dolphins kick off at 4:25, followed by the 5th quarter postgame show on TV 38. Coming up after the break, New England may be a hotspot for UFO sightings, the states where you are most likely to see something unexplained in the sky.
You're watching WBZ News.
The best place to spot a UFO might be right here in New England. Casino website MC Luck gathered data on UFO sightings in every state. Vermont had the most sightings, followed by New Hampshire, Idaho, Maine, and Oregon, wrapping up the top 5. And if you're wondering when you should be looking into the sky, well, they say that's around 9 p.m. in the month of August. The next time Beyonce is called Queen Bee, that B will stand for billionaire. Forbes says the megastar reached the new tax bracket after back-to-back successful tours. She also has several other business ventures. Beyonce is the 5th musician to reach the milestone. The first musician ever to make the list was Jay-Z, Beyonce's husband. Well, thanks for streaming CBS News Boston. I'm Brianna Pitts. Be sure to stay with CBS News Boston throughout the day for updates on breaking news and your next weather forecast.
All right, we are in a next weather alert right now. Strong gusty winds all across the state, 43 miles per hour in the current wind gusts in Boston, and it is making those feels like temperatures, turning them down to the single digits. It's very cold outside this morning, of course, and our high temperatures today only bouncing into the mid 20s, and that's about where we are right now. So it doesn't get a whole lot warmer from here on out, but nonetheless, a beautiful start to the day. We've got some sunshine. It's a little clearer out for us, and then that first night in Boston, temperatures right around the freezing mark for us coming up. It's going to be a chilly stretch of weather, Brianna.
Okay, Alyssa, our top story. A Leominster man accused of killing his wife remains behind bars this morning. A judge denied bail for James Marsh yesterday. Prosecutors say he killed his wife Ann and started an hours-long standoff with police the day after Christmas. If you're watching us on CBS News Boston, we'll be right back after a quick break.